As we all know, the business environment is very competitive today. So as entrepreneurs, we try to identify a market that would give us the highest return on investment. And while with doing our research, we came across the country of Mozambique. It has very high potential because it has been devastated by war, so their cropland use intensity is very low, there's starvation, and there's no jobs. So if we start a business there, we'll be increasing their quality of life and creating profit for us. So we decided that the best business for Mozambique would be to establish a distribution center of agricultural equipment. And the following will be a presentation of what we have found. And I will start with giving us a brief overview about the country and some general facts, and then I will continue with the devastating effects of the war, and Dimitri will conclude with how we're going to establish the distribution center, and here is I.
Hi, I'm going to talk about general fact of Mozambique. This is the Mozambique flag. Mozambique is a country in southeastern Africa. Its republic government and official language is Portuguese. Population is about 20 million. Maputo is the capital, and also it's the largest city in the Mozambique. This is the Mozambique money looks like. It's called Mozambican Metico. GDP is total $27 billion. Per capita is $1,400. Imports remain about 40% greater than exports. Major trading partners are Netherlands and South Africa. Distribution of labor force is 81% of agriculture, 6% of services, 6% of industry, and 30% of services. This lady working in the field. Main agriculture is corn, cashew nuts, and cotton. Even though agriculture is the main labor force, 1/3 of total population are food insecure. Absence of rain is one of the reasons, but also main reason is a civil war. So now Maria is going to talk about war. Here's Maria.
Okay, like I mentioned, the country has been devastated by war. Mozambique won its independence of Portugal in 1975, but by 1979 they were already in a civil war. And as we can see here, in 1973, their cropland use intensity, that was the area that was actually cultivated, was 21.8%. That was before the Civil War. In 1985, after the Civil War started, it dropped to almost 0.5%, 9.2. And then it keeps going down in 1992 to 4.5. By 1994, we see that it's increasing to 10.3. This is when the farmers started moving in, realizing the potential that Mozambique has. And by 1995, we see that it's already to 16.8%. So this trend shows us that we're not the only ones realizing the potential Mozambique has. There are others moving into the area. This is just from satellite pictures, and it just shows the same information. All the green here is the area that was being cultivated. This is in 1973. In 1985, it starts to decrease because that's when the Civil War started. By 1992, there's hardly any cultivation going on, and it starts to increase back up in 1994. So the trend indicates to us that there is potential and people are starting to move in. So we realized this, and as entrepreneurs, we're going to take advantage of the opportunities we have. So not only it's going to be a win-win situation for all, not only are we going to get a profit, but we're going to create jobs and reduce starvation there. So next, Dimitri will talk about how we're going to establish our distribution centers in Mozambique.
The reason why we chose tractors is because agriculture accounts for 81% of national industry. After doing some research, we decided that we're going to work with Minsk Tractor Works from Belarus. And Belarus is a country, former Soviet Union country, and it's between Poland and Russia. Minsk Tractor Works was founded 50 years ago and has become one of the biggest world manufacturers of agricultural machinery and tractors. At present, there are more than 100 tractors planted in the world, but only 8 of them supply of the actual 96% of the total volume of the product market. At present, Minsk Tractor Works takes leading positions on the markets of more than 60 countries in the world, and they have established dealerships in over 30 countries such as United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, Italy. Norway, Sweden, and Ethiopia. So we can see they already established in the African market. We'll be marketing tractors for farming, such as versatile low crop tractors and compact tractors. You can see the picture. Those are the two main models we'll be marketing. That's, as you can see there, the smallest one and the cheapest. It's a small tractor, so it'll be good. Also, the Tractor Works produce bigger tractors, which actually more high-tech and have more power. So in case if there'll be demand for those, we'll be selling those as well, but they're more expensive. That's why we don't want to move in the country at first movers with big equipment. Of course, as our promotion, we'll be using advertising. We'll be using billboards, which in the recent years will be really popular. Also, our distribution center is going to be located in Maputo, which is the largest city and the capital of Mozambique. And it's the economy dominated by the modern port, which is actually located in Maputo. So we'll be importing our tractors in containers from Belarus to Maputo. Also, we'll be using word of mouth because all the farmers will be talking to each other and discussing about our products. So we hope we're going to be relying on that. Local newspaper ads. There is 4 newspapers in Mozambique. Radio station. There are 2 main radio stations with national coverage. And TV ads, because television advertising might be actually the most effective medium to reach affluent Mozambicans who will be able to afford to buy imported goods. 6% of households in Mozambique have television, and 100,000 of those fall from Maputo, and while 46 have radio. And television advertising is relatively inexpensive, and 30-cent prime time spot might cost for as little as $210. As for pricing, we're gonna, as I mentioned, the 2 models that will be going, and there will be starting salaries $14,000, and the range basically for $14,000 to $16,000. But again, if there'll be a demand, we can sell the ones with more higher prices. Also, we'll be establishing a distribution center, and in order to do that, basically we have to start a business. And in order to do that in Mozambique, you have to register with 3 ministries: the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, the Ministry of Planning and Development, and the Ministry of Finance. Specific target markets will be mainly farm owners, because most of them live actually in Maputo, the biggest city, and they just own farms. There is a lot of workers who work on farm. So that'll be good. So they'll be the one who actually be able to afford to buy not even 1 tractor, many tractors. There's no really barriers to enter the country's market, because the country's government encourages importing, and because they get money of that, obviously, because of the taxes. As far as taxes, there's a trade-weighted average tariff, which is 9%. Duties on imported goods range from 0 and 20%. A value-added tax of 17% is also assessed at the time of importation. However, there are industrial-free zones, what it is when you start actually providing jobs for the local people, which obviously we're going to hire local people to work for our distribution centers. We can be qualified as an industrial-free zone, which can actually reduce our taxes by a lot. So in conclusion, I would like to say that it will be a win-win situation. I would say the triple win, because not only we will win as people who is going to be established in distribution center, the company who is going to be actually selling tractors is going to win, and the people is going to win. Because, as I mentioned, that basically the situation in the country is not that great, and the economy is slowly rising up, and we'll be helping providing jobs, and the economy grow up, and everybody can make profit. Thank you.